So I'll switch it. Okay, so that's what we'll see. What you guys will be seeing. So this is visually okay for you guys. Like you can see this.
Yes.
Yes, this is. Okay. And I'm gonna put my mouse well.
This is sort of a season.
So let me adjust this so we're looking at the right thing here. Let me introduce my little friends. We have a little dinosaur. This one has this is called chenille sticks or a pipe cleaner inside so that it has a little bit of bendability, although it's so small. If I made it bigger, you can probably adjust it more, but you know, the tail will move a little. I also put it in the feet, but it's so small. Again, I'll just pass it around. You guys can see it, but you can see it has a little dot eye. So we have these little different size eyes. And then I just, you know, put some spots on it just to make it fun. And then this one is my little owl friend. This one's completely felted through all the way. So it might be a good idea just to kind of feel how firm it is. Little owl. I'm probably gonna give that to my sister since she likes that. And then this one's not done yet. Can you guys see that?
Oh, I love that. Yeah, that's nice.
Not done yet.
How in the world?
This is actually a big dryer ball. You know how you can buy a big bag of
Yeah.
dryer balls?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was looking at it and it is 100% wool and it is already a nice big size. So what I'm gonna do with this one is turn it into an ornament. And I was hoping that I would finish it by today. But you know, if we have another class or something, we could do felting on this, or if you guys are interested, we could do felting on like a small they have some where there's like an embroidery hoop, and then they have it like a little picture with felted. It's almost like a painting but with felt.
Right.
So there's that, or you know, if there's other interests, other kinds of felting projects, we can do some more and we can just make them for next time.
I love the color of that bird.
Yeah, and this color right here is a mixture of two different colors. And so if you kind of blend them together, they even sell a special brush where you kind of blend it. And so you can blend the colors and it'll give you just kind of this feeling right here. So I'll pass this around so you guys can see. And then this is our friend that we're doing today. We're going to be making a little cat head. Okay. And if you want to turn this cat into like, you know, you can change the ears a bit and make it a dog or whatever you can, right? But the idea in the structure is going to be kind of the same. Okay. So it can be whatever colors you want to make it. You know, whatever you want to do with the colors is fine. And then I have the little eyes and the nose and stuff that you guys can use. If you want to do those instead with felt, you can also. Okay. So if you guys don't know me, my name is Sonia. I have been doing classes here since, I don't know, maybe November, December last year. So on and off, I've offered a lot of different classes so far. We've done, you know, a lot of acrylic painting classes. The paper beads that she's actually, at least is demonstrating on. But if you guys have a special interest in something else, I know how to do lots of different things. We have classes in October coming up. Well, my classes are going to be the owl, which, you know, I'll set it up so you guys can make the owl wherever it is. But if in that class you want to work on something else, you know, like you've already taken the first class, you want to try something new and you want to just show up to the class and get some tips or whatever you want, you can. We also have a watercolor class where you will be painting, and there's samples with Michelle in her office, painting watercolor fall leaves. And then I also have another class where we're making a kind of like an artwork of a cat. It's called Pumpkin Spice Latte Cat. So I'll put the example up there, you guys can see it, but it's a cute little picture of this cat holding a latte, and you know, you can kind of like make it your own version. So
is that watercolor too?
No, that's gonna be actually with mixed media, so it's gonna be collage,
Okay.
cutting out different kind of colors of paper. And then also we can like paint and draw on it and put other decorations, so
Oh.
kind of be just like a fun poster, and you can make it whatever theme you want, you know, so. I'll show you guys that though. What else am I doing? Watercolor, felting, leaves, and there's one more. There's 4 classes. Okay, I have to think of the other one. Anyway, so let's get started here. I don't know how much experience you guys have with needle felting. I know we have 1% of the class. You've tried it. Has anybody else done it before?
No.
Well, a little bit. Okay. So I have never taken a class with anybody, so this might be a different way of like learning how to do it. It might be, hello, going in wherever. Okay, the only concern that I have is one, your safety, and oh yeah, go ahead and sit right there. You going to class today? It's fine, go ahead, jump in.
Oh,
You're not
yay.
interrupting anything at all. Your safety, guys, this is a barbed needle that we're using, and luckily the barbs are facing down and not up, or else it'd be super hard to take out if you did stick yourself with it. But please keep in mind that these needles are sharp. They're also very brittle, so they do break. If you break a needle, you know, shame on you. No, I'm just kidding.
7 years. 7 years.
7 years good luck.
Oh, it hurts really
I
bad.
have extras right
Yeah,
here.
really bad.
It really hurts, like especially if you hit a nerve. And I stuck myself right here once, and I was like full in pain for the rest of the day. It just hurts so bad. So please be careful. The way we're doing it actually tends to make it safer. So just, you know, keep that in mind. To start us off, we have our styrofoam base. This is going to be the primary like thing that we use to work on. Okay. And then everybody has a styrofoam ball, which is going to form the primary like core of our head. Okay. Now, traditionally, we have all wool in the middle where we make a ball using the roving. Do you guys want to see that step first, just to know how to do it? Okay, because I have a trick for that too. So we're not going to do this because this does take, you know, a while, but if you want to do this in the next one, the owl one or whatever, you can. So this is roving. This is what's used in the core of a lot of the sculptures because it's a little bit more affordable. Usually it's a natural color like this, and it's a coarser quality of wool. Okay. So the merino wool, actually, I don't even think this is merino. Merino wool is just a little bit of a softer feel to it. That's merino wool in here. You know, you can get it in different colors. Okay. So if you're really into it, you can, oops, knock me down. This chair is a little short for me, so it's like kind of weird, but basically to start off your middle of your felted, whatever you're going to make, you want to make the core really more firm. Okay. And I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that people make when they needle felt, that they start and then all of a sudden they're working and the thing that they're making starts to get all mushy and wobbly, and it's like, what the heck? Like, what is happening? It's all distorted, right? And so if you guys felt like the owl, it feels kind of firm, almost like not a tennis ball, but like leaning towards a tennis ball, right? More than like a cotton swab or something. Okay. So how do we do that, right? So we take our roving, and depending on what you're going to make, you can kind of adjust this depending on the form. Okay. So what I like to do is twist it like this. Hello. Oh, did somebody leave their bottle?
Hi, thank you.
So I like to twist it like this and then make a knot. So when you're starting off, you have a circle already to kind of start with, and it's packed very tightly. Okay. So this is starting off the core. Okay. And so if I were to make a ball like this size, what I would want to do is keep going. And so I'm really packing the wool tightly so that you don't have mush that you're trying to like smush and pack together. So all needle felting is, like at its foundation, is you're taking the layers of fluff on the outside and you're burying them in the inside. And the more you take that and bury them in, then the more firm they're gonna feel and the surface will be smooth. Okay. So, but if you start burying things and then your mush on the inside is too soft, it's not really gonna hold its shape. Okay. So now I already have kind of a ball. Like, of course, if I were to like make it all like a row of knots, or have some other kind of form going, maybe I want to make it a different shape, I can. And so I can just start twisting this around, and at this point, oops, I got a hair in there, dog hair, probably not my hair. So now I have a nice firm ball that's like twisted up, it already feels hard. Okay, and then this is where you get your needle and you start felting it. Okay, so these barbs are going to grab the outside fibers and press them in. Okay, and another mistake that people make when they felt is that they don't go far enough. See how like I'm gently pushing it? Okay, for this step you really want to go all the way in, because you want the firmest ball to be in the center. So I'm going pretty much all the way to the end of the barbs, which you can see they end right here where it gets wider. Okay, and so a lot of that fiber is going and burying deep in there to grab into those layers in the center. Okay, so I can fold it over, make it as tight as I need to make it, and really get in there, stab it, even though we're going all the way into the foam. Okay, because I'm just burying this. When we get into the surface layers, at the end, yeah, we can go lighter because we don't have to go that deep. Okay, but for this part, we really want to make it so that it's like everything is adhering together. Okay, so then I would keep going with this until it's a firm ball, or I would get more of the roving and keep building it up if I want to make it bigger and bigger. Okay, this is a traditional way of using the wool, right? This takes a long time and you have to keep going, and it's building this ball. Okay, if you want to be a cheater, you can buy these pre-made, pre-felted balls that you can get online. They're kind of expensive, but they do make the job a lot easier, especially if you start getting bigger ones. You can definitely get this and like start it for the core and build up around it, right? That's kind of a way to cheat with still using the natural wool. Okay, or if you want to be a big cheater, we're going to use the styrofoam ball, and it actually does feel like felt and it feels light, but obviously it's not going to have the weight and it's not going to be as squishy. Okay, which is fine for beginners, right? If you get into it, you want to do it the traditional way, sure, it's going to be firm, but it's not going to be it's not going to be like a styrofoam ball in there. Okay, so hopefully that's okay with everybody. If you completely disagree, you can walk out right now and get your money back or something. I don't know. Okay, so what you guys are going to do first is just take a look at the different tools that I have out here. Okay, and some of these I took from you guys, so don't worry. We have the regular felted wooden tool. Okay, this one is just, I guess, what's basically used. We can also open these all up and switch out the needles if we need to. This one just has a safety guard on it so that when you punch it through, and again, you want to make sure that these are in the unlocked position. The two dots are aligned, and then the needles will go through. Okay, this one is a little bit smaller, you can see. Okay, I went to Hobby Lobby and I got all the needles that I could find like this, and I didn't have enough for everybody. Okay, I didn't have enough to have both for everybody. So whatever you guys are working on, just with the people next to you, just maybe swap or share if you need to. Okay. Oh, perfect. Okay, then that's good. Then that way I know for sure everybody will have a wide one. You'll either have this one or this one. Okay. If you have this one, you can swap with the person next to you, you know what I mean? So just move things around. Okay. I also like to work just even with a few needles in my hand like this. So obviously you should be getting ones that are the same size, like the same length. But sometimes I'll just grab two needles and work just kind of with 2 needles. And then I also have one that just has a single needle on it. So if anybody wants to use this one, you can. Okay. So I'm going to show you guys what you can do to start, and then I'll let you guys get your wool and do it. Okay. So whichever wool you want to do, I'm just going to use a roving just because I already made a cat. And it's in there. Okay. And when you get the roving or you get your wool color that you want, okay, you want to try to choose from these bigger ones if you can, just because we're using a lot. And then we can use any of these fun colors too, but try to use the more natural colors for the base, okay? All right, so when you get your roving, you want to just kind of look at it and hold it up in front of you like this and just kind of gather it so it's not as see-through anymore, right? You can kind of like not see through it. And then that's the layer that you want to add on to the ball. So I'm just kind of gathering it, placing it. Think of like a, I don't know, like a thumb width of wool. I'm trying to get you guys to get the density right? So laying it on there, and then we're just gonna start, and with whichever tool, and for this one, you really want to go deep, right? So go all the way with this tool, or with this one, go all the way to the end of the narrow part of the barbs. Okay, so we're just gonna keep going. This keeps you from kind of like punching it into your fingers and ball, but of course you could still, right? So once you have that layer, it's still a really thin layer, so you can even kind of like double it up. And this will give you that nice kind of even surface. So this is what we're going to start off with first. Okay. All right. So come up and get whichever colors you want here. And then grab like a, a good chunk. I would say like if you're grabbing some, grab like a bunch of it like this.
Okay.
So we can unravel these. This is the color I think I use for mine. And so you want to grab maybe like this chunk, like a ponytail worth. Okay. If you happen to see my book here, it is a children's drawing book that I made and recently finished publishing it.
Oh, wow.
So if you're interested in getting a copy, you can feel free to look at that on your own. Oh, this looks like a little girl already. Look at okay, but you guys can all come up and get it. It's fine. I'm gonna give these tools back.
I'm good.
Okay.
I'd like to have done it.
How much of this roving do we,
About a foot?
The roving is that the color that you want the cat to be?
Okay, so.
Yeah, this is just if you're making the middle. Do you want to make the middle one like this?
Oh, no, okay,
Yeah, so we're just using the ball for this one.
all right,
So whatever color you're picking right now is the color of the cat that you're gonna make.
right.
Yeah, that's fine. A little bit more, a little more. And if you don't get
So about
enough,
a foot?
you can always get more. Like, think of like a long ponytail, like maybe like this much.
So about a foot.
Okay.
Yes, about a foot. Thank you.
Right. So this
And then I leave the rest of it here.
Yeah, you can leave it there. Okay. If you want to use your little, oh no, you just rip it. Yeah. If you want to use your little leather, sure. It's really soft. If you want to use your leather gloves, finger guards, you can. I don't use them because I think they get in the way, but if you want to use them, go for it. Okay. I do have extras up here too, if you need them. Mhm. Yeah. There's, black.
No, it don't matter.
I might have a little bit more gray in here too, but it's a different color gray. It's like a cool gray.
To start out. Well,
See, there's like these.
I'm not. Hey, sweetheart. I remember you were in the back. Sonia. I'm sorry. Do I need to start out with this or do I need to?
Yeah, so this part, big piece, and then again, we just kind of want to make sure we don't see through it, right? So if it's too thin, it's like this, so
Okay.
it's fine.
Okay,
We can just lay it on top. We don't want to see through it, right?
real
So just kind
close,
of like-
there's the fiber stick in further
Thank you.
apart,
Yeah.
a little bit further apart.
You good?
Yeah, it's strong.
Actually, it's like a gentle pull.
Yeah.
Instead of ripping it like this, you kind of grab it gently and just feather it apart.
Yeah.
I don't know why it works that way, but it does.
It's the different, like, the length of the fibers, and they're at different.
And if
like
you need
that, so we
more,
to
then
pull
you
them
can
and
put it more, it's fine.
spread them apart.
Well, I'm just covering. part of it
Again,
right
it's
now.
just a gentle
Get that
pull. It's
filled
like
in, and then I'll pull it on around.
Uh-huh. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
And then I'll pull it on around and start again.
Now, that's the one that we laying here about, thought you might want that instead of the big one, that's what you want.
Are you gonna do another big one?
It just depends if there's interest, you know, even if it's like a group of 2 people, that's fine.
Flattering, what they call it, because it makes the sound it makes. Now,
Yeah,
the
that's
thing
fine.
is, we need more.
I've got some of those that.
Okay.
I just sort of pulled off the little.
You just keep going, don't you? Just.
Yes, so again, if you grab your ball, you guys see what I'm doing here? If you grab your ball, you just want to layer it up, okay? And then again, just go around the whole thing, punching it through, okay? Wherever it feels like you can kind of see through the ball or see white, then you can just add a little bit more, okay? This is the part that really takes most of the wool, but everything else, for all the details, you really don't use much wool at all.
Start in the middle or?
It can be anywhere, you're just covering the entire surface.
You know, the little, wool balls that you got, at Hobby Lobby, sometimes they'll have a garland of the wool
Yes.
balls, and then wait till when they put them on sale, like
Oh,
the end
that's
of
a
the
good idea.
season, and you get them a really good price.
Okay, I did not think about that, yeah. Cause I bought a bag of them and it has a lot in there, like 100 or something,
Mhm,
but it was like $22.
mhm.
And I was like, okay, I guess I need
I think I got a big garland one time for like $6 at the end of the season.
Oh, okay, good.
And it has a whole lot of different colors, like it was like white and orange and brown.
Yeah. Okay, definitely look out for that.
No, just for.
Oh, you need to deeper with that. Yeah, you guys hear how she was doing it? She was like this. That's not really doing anything. It's barely getting the first little barbs, right? So for the core one, again, just all the way into the styrofoam, going all the way up to the beginning of the thicker part. Okay, or smush that little plasticky one all the way down. Sorry, I don't really put this last. My students used to say, "You're putting me on blast." Like, you're getting it wrong. What am I supposed to do? Or they say, "Miss Garcia, you're doing too much." I'm like, you guys are not doing enough. That's why. I used to teach high school, so.
No, it's free, since it's.
Well, I didn't. Anyway, I wondered about that, because I never paid anything.
Some classes they do, but this is.
Yeah, any of the classes in October are gonna be free too. So the ones that are with me.
Is there a paper on that? Cause I'll forget.
They do, they're gonna post the October classes soon.
Next week.
Yeah.
Where do they post it at? In the Facebook or what?
The paper.
Oh,
The
they put
paper,
it out?
I know, or,
Facebook, I think.
Sherry.
yeah.
And this is.
Now,
very-
when I've got all one side done, do I just pull this loose and bring it back the other way?
Yeah, so if you have a spot, you can just gently pull it apart, pull this off, so take a piece off it.
Okay.
And then place it on whatever area you have.
Okay, gotcha.
It was Marcia and Martha, I remember that.
I thought so, but she was in the bathroom, you birthday, didn't you?
Yeah.
I don't so you don't get your fingers.
Yes.
do that.
Yeah, perfect.
Oh, I haven't been.
I thought that.
No.
I guess that must be something to be rabbit spider.
I mean,
Yeah,
once you get used to it, you probably don't have to use it.
if you have never poked yourself with a needle, it happens the most often when you're going too fast. Okay,
Yeah,
so just calm down.
That's right.
this is
Yeah.
supposed to be relaxing, right?
Yes, it's supposed to be.
Or
Some people-
anxiety releasing.
Some people don't have the patience for it, because it is kind of like.
Don't come to this class angry.
I know, don't let your anger out on your little ball.
Maybe it would be good.
All I could think of is refundable.
That's
Like a
on your
rule,
printer,
to not do
yeah.
something and then you don't throw things around.
I mean, you gotta be really destroying this wall, so.
I come over just with it.
It's okay, it doesn't.
I'm gonna get them to get me with the people.
Uh-huh.
Are you trying to repair them?
No, it's finished.
Oh,
Yeah.
just one of them dropped away, polyester.
More this.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah, it's on.
Hand it, I just wanted to have it finished. I paid. I mean, and I've got some flip flops that somebody gave me, I just wanna get some things in.
Other class, like it's the same glass.
Yes. It's hard to do now. No, I'd love to do some stuff.
They got all different kind of techniques.
It's really hard to do.
Yeah, so you are gonna keep going until it's full, but you can also see that the surface is kind of like when you put your ponytail and it's all messed up, like all the hair is all bumpy, it kind of is gonna look like that. So you want to just keep going on those areas until they kind of smooth out. If they don't really start smoothing out, or it starts to look a little bit too weird or uneven, you can get some more and just layer on that area, okay?
Let me ask you a question before I forget.
Keep going.
You can, if I made something at home, it doesn't look good. Can you take it apart and start over, or is the wool done? Is it done for?
It depends. Like, if you bring it next time or something, I can see it and I can see if I can help you take it apart.
Okay.
But
you
it
don't
just
want to
depends on
bend it
how,
while
like,
How much?
how attached everything is. But I've been known to rip off like an ear or, whatever I'm reading.
Oh, I made the ears really cute. They look like ears, but the poor sheep split it apart.
You want me to fix your needle? You said one broke?
Let you hold on to it. It's like, how did she make dinosaur? That couldn't bend. You just.
Well, I think she used the,
Yeah, not for the hold it.
cleaner
Ball
things.
box.
In there, and so it would bend and.
Oh, and then you just kind of cover it.
And then I start trying to do it at home, and I'm like, oh, I can't do this. Somebody's gonna have to help me.
I was thinking I actually fill bottles. And put my real sleep away. With the case of when you wanted stuff in
Timo is called, or Temo.
Oh, have you ever had any problems out of that website?
I only did it one time.
Oh,
But what I didn't like was after I did it, every day they sent me an email that said, we have a special gift for you. We put your name on it. Please call us or text us or something.
Yes.
So I never did any of that because I didn't want to get back involved in.
Yeah, because it just seems fraudulent.
But they sent a lot of stuff and the stuff I ordered was fine.
Oh,
I thought it was good.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
I'm scared of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
cause I ordered some stuff from China, but blouses looked wonderful. They were beautiful when I
Oh,
got
I
them.
do, but,
They were not
I
what
am
they
the
looked
thing, I
like
don't
at all.
weave these.
They
Were they from
cheap,
Temu?
With the weaving.
No.
we
Oh,
generally
okay.
will-
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they were cheap And
more like wide.
Lord, I bet you I got,
So I just keep going on the baby.
Really?
No, not for next month.
and it was just, and it took me so long to get them, I wasn't even gonna send them back.
So
Right.
we're
Yeah.
gonna do-
Right.
Forget about
And they know you're not gonna do that,
Right.
so, but I'll never do that again. But no, it wasn't too much.
Okay.
Kind of get gentle pull, and then we can just.
And
take
you-
this
and you have
tuck it
Opinions
or
both ways.
and cut it
Some
fine
people
for
love it.
dinner.
Some people say I got ripped off and. you know.
Just keep going
Oh,
until
really?
it's a little bit more like smooth.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else want me to look at theirs?
Yes.
Okay.
This was a project that my sister did in her house and I thought that was really clear.
Yeah, these
Okay, let
are
me
the
just
last
look at
out of piece behind small right there.
Oh, yeah, that's looking good. So yeah, wherever it's kind of lumpy, like, see how it's bigger up here?
Okay.
Just work on smoothing it out a little bit.
All right.
Yeah, that's looking good. So wherever, again, wherever it needs cover, you have to add a little bit more. Add some of the gray, okay?
Yeah.
And then
So
I've
go
got,
ahead, you could even
and
take a
just
piece
the
and fill in
needle.
this,
Oh.
and then whatever is extra, you just
for
wanna pull
little
off.
stuff,
it.
you can just use just one needle.
Oh.
If you're just doing like a little fade.
Yeah, that's fine, just show me whatever.
Like putting the ears in.
Good? Yes. So wherever it's soft, right here, go ahead and add a little bit more, you know, a little bit more, or wherever it's white, you can add some more. Yeah, anything that's like this. Right here, add a little bit more soft just to cover that a little bit. So, okay.
So how long have you been doing needle felting?
Actually, I'm getting back into it now, but I did needle felting like several years ago. And I didn't really do all that much. I would make small, like flat things, like this little ducky.
Yeah.
Flat keychains and things like that, but. Yeah, I don't know, just getting into it more.
I've got to go get me some more colors because I want to start trying to do the landscape.
Oh, yeah, that's fun too. And there's so many ideas online you can find,
Right.
Pinterest and things like that.
YouTube is really getting me in trouble because every time I see something else, I want to try that. And you know, my house is turned upside down. I'm like, oh gosh, I need to stay off YouTube. There's other things I really need to be doing.
I'll make one with a little bird. You did them yourself? Yeah, a camel with, yeah, she did the client. The exchange bird, yeah, and we did a little bird.
Okay. But no,
That's been the end of my last year.
how big can his head be?
About a year ago,
I mean,
You do
but you can keep adding more and more to make it thicker, but
no, they had the same kind of.
eventually it does get flatter, right? Because you're taking the fluff and kind of flattening it down. So
Right.
if you feel like you need to add a little bit more to make it kind of covered, you can definitely add some more. And we won't really need that much for the rest of it. So if you want to use some more of that same color, you can. Okay. So just kind of keep in mind that the more we bury the felt, the more the surface of it is going to get distorted, right? So, you know, we're being pretty aggressive here with the start, but then later, as we're adding details, you don't want to go too deep or else you're going to start stretching the wool on the surface a lot. So something to keep in mind. Try to finish mine off quickly here so we can keep going with the next part.
So how long has this been felting and done? Do you have to know the history behind it?
You know, I don't happen to know the history.
Probably since Steve.
Well, it
Yeah.
had to start in England, right?
I remember reading about said that the
Yes, they had
people
all
used
the
to
rules.
make,
They had all the sheets.
like socks and the boots and stuff out of wool, like
Oh.
Viking times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have to look into it. I usually know some history of stuff and not.
No.
See about the art movement and then not anything about wool felting.
Yeah. And then like the wet felting, you know, people make pants and stuff out of that
Yeah,
too.
What about using the felt that's already like a
You show them my line.
Oh, that's what this is right here. These sheets that you would find at craft stores.
right?
Yeah, so actually the next step is for making the ears. So I have these little ear pieces for you guys. See?
Okay.
If you want though, I didn't want to cut it all up because I just have a few of them. But like if she's doing a black cat, maybe she's gonna want the black felt piece, okay? And the only thing is that this kind of felt that you would get at a craft store is not necessarily wool felt. It's just,
You can get it, Michael's has a little bit of wool,
yeah,
back there close to that, that's like acrylic.
yeah, it's more like a, I don't know, maybe polyester or something. But for our purposes, since we're just using a little bit of it for the ears, you can use that. So I have white, gray, so you guys can cut out the ear color that you want, but we are gonna cover it with the wool that we have anyway. So if you don't know what to do, just get this hand color.
Oh, little teddy bear's cute.
Yeah, so I brought this little guy because it's not felt, but it is also a good idea to have the three-dimensional kind of structure of something in front of you while you're working, as you're trying to make something, because sometimes you can look at something online and think, okay, this is easy, but then it's hard to see how it's actually constructed. So, and if you have like a little toy or something that you want to use as a guide, you know, you can. You could turn your cat into a bear too. So, you know, if you want to make the ears rounded, you can. But you know, just as an idea, if you have something like this, you can use it as a guide. Okay. How are we doing? Are you guys done with your balls? If you're done with your balls, then come up and decide what color ear you want and pick some ears out. So I have some sets here. Or if you want a new color, I can cut out the shape. Here. I have these, and anything in here, whatever else you might have. Yeah, it's gonna get covered mostly, so. Okay.
I was gonna put this part on the side.
Yeah, I don't need that a lot.
Yeah, as soon as you guys are done with your ball, pick out your ear color and then make sure you have enough wool, a little bit of extra wool of a color that you want the ears, whether it's the same color or a different color, just get that, just a small amount of that. You want that one or you want any of the other ones? I just have like these. These are all kind of funny colors. Yeah. Do you want me to cut it out for you, the shape? Oh, let's see. Do I have a pink one? Yeah, do you have any extra? Yeah, that's gonna be enough.
Yeah, I'm the same. I got to look at it. I want to see it again. The way I want it. If I get older, good idea.
Oh, Okay.
Eight fine.
Well, maybe it'll give you, yeah, or I'll look and see if you want.
I'll do yeah.
Oh, yeah, good. And or the ears.
Made that look good.
Let me show you guys mine. So my cat has ears and it has a little bit of pink in there, okay? If you want to make that middle part like white or whatever color you want, go ahead and get that color. You really just need a small little amount of it. Or if you want to get one of these pink colors up here, you can, okay? So we're gonna need that. So get that. Maybe if you're trying to copy a certain cat, you can get whatever color matches that particular cat. Okay. Okay, how about
Charlie, he,
gray?
Charlie can't, that's his dark stripe.
Area right there.
Oh, sure, that can be just the bottom. Okay. And then let me put you some gray in your ears.
Yeah.
I do that too, I like Calico. My Amber, she's, she is a tortoiseshell. Yeah. But she's a tortoiseshell, she's black.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. And then if you want the middle part pink, that's optional too. You don't have to.
I like it. Look at this. It goes with the silk. Quicker.
The other gray that I have is that's a cool gray. We're gonna cover it though with a color.
Oh dear.
So I have this, but we're gonna cover it with this color. Okay, yeah, okay. All right, so again, pink, if you're gonna do pink in the middle or whatever color in the middle, and the color that you want your ears to be, okay? Whether that's the same color you just used or a different color, go ahead and get that set up, okay?
No, it's okay. It's not loud, so it's not hurting.
All right, everybody have their colors ready to go for their ears? Go ahead and get that going. If you're still poking at your ball, that's okay. Like you can still continue doing that even as we're working on something else. So don't worry if it's not like 100% perfect, okay? Probably could use some more too, but okay, we have two sets of ears up here. If you want any of those too. I have this one. Yeah, let me get. Okay.
You still crocheting?
Yeah.
Doctor told me to do that. Quit faster. It's not in my ears. You go. I'm there every month.
White one too?
But we're going to have to have it easier than we did that. She's not as. She's Thank you.
And what color did you need?
I think I'm gonna go with brown.
Oh, did you start adding the ears?
Evidently been doing stuff in my apartment.
Okay, so you can do it like this. This, no, that if you do it like this, that's fine. You don't have to. You would just do it this way, laying it down and working already on this so you can get it a little bit tighter. So that's fine.
No, like me, I was thinking about.
You can add the color pink when you're done. So like, once you get this formed a little bit more tightly, then you can go back and add whatever middle. It depends. It depends on how thick it gets when you start felting it. I'll show you that though. Yeah. No, it's very thin, very thin.
I think I'm gonna go with, brown, something dark like that, or,
I have just this one.
okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
It is over.
Actually, are you gonna cover it with that? Why don't you just get these ears and cover it with that brown?
Okay. I can do
It'll
that.
cover. Okay, everybody has your ear set up, kind of ready to go?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna take my ears. You guys see that okay? Do I need to zoom in?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was the
No.
TV or something. Okay, so again, this is kind of like a cheating way to do it. So we're gonna get a piece of our roving, okay? And you wanna get maybe like a, I don't know, like a hand length amount. And think of it as like a little, just like a big, like a stripe. I don't know how to quantify this. This much, okay? And we're going to wrap this around our ear. So I'm going to lay the wool down, kind of maybe lay it flat, make sure it's not too thin. And then I'm gonna place this ear on top. And then I'm gonna wrap it around this way, kind of going around that triangle shape. Okay? See, just wrapping it. And then I'm gonna take this side and just fold it over on the other way. So I'm kind of like just crossing them over, okay? And I'm gonna hold that in place, and then with my needle tool, I'm gonna felt this down, and we're gonna go about halfway deep this time. We don't wanna go that deep. Okay, so I'm just getting those first kind of few layers attached. And normally if you were to make a little shape of wool, like the shape of a triangular ear, you could do it with just the felt itself, okay? So you don't have to use this, but I find that using a little piece of this felt, the little flat piece, just makes it look less see-through right away, and then it also just gives it a little bit of structure and keeps the shape. So this is definitely not the only way of making a little ear shape, but it's just an easy way, okay? I did bring these just because they came with a kit that I bought. These are little templates that you can buy at, I don't know, online. And these have all kinds of weird shapes on here, clouds, and I would use these to make little keychains. But they have these molds where you can buy them and you can get some that just have some basic shapes. So like this one has like circles, leaf shapes, teardrop shapes, right? So if I were to make a cat ear, you know, I would stick a bunch of felt in here and then just start felting it. And this is a little guide. It kind of works as like a template. So I'll show you guys how that works. I don't have enough of these to go around, you know, for everybody's, which is why I didn't really use this technique, but you would just normally take a little ball of felt. Like, let's say I'm going to put it in this leaf shape. And this one, I would just kind of shove it in there. And then with whatever needle tool you have, probably a smaller one, you would just felt it and just kind of tuck it into the template as you're working, okay? And this is great for using it to make small details, right? So then eventually you would start forming like that shape using the template, okay? So it's just kind of it's a tool to have used for felting, but we're not gonna really use it to this. We need to. Okay, so when you do this ear, you'll notice that you are felting the felt all the way through the styrofoam. So my ear is like stuck on here because I felted it through, right? So just gently pull it off and you'll be able to see that it's like some of the fuzz is coming out the other way, okay? So then at this point, what we want to do is after we pull it off, fold it over again, wrap that wool going the other way, right? On the other side, folding it over itself. So I'd wrap them twice. And then just kind of go back and press it in the other direction. So that's going to tuck some of that wool back in, going the other way. So it's almost like You're folding it over, smoothing it down, and then flipping it over and doing the same thing on the other side. Okay? If you want to switch over to a smaller tool, like the pen-like tool, you can. If you guys want to borrow the single needle tool, you can.
Yours.
Okay, so that's fine.
Those aren't. Fold it over again.
Do you want to get the gray color then?
Yes.
I'll cut out the whole section.
Do it the same way you did before.
Well, this one just has one. And then I Oh, I don't have another one that's single. If you want to borrow one of the pen tools that somebody has, you can.
Okay.
I don't know how they use them here.
Nice.
All right.
Huh?
I've got it in there.
Okay, does anybody need to see that again or need help with that? That's with the ear?
Yeah, I want to see it again, please.
Okay, I was gonna do it on the other ear, that's fine. So
Make sure. I'm.
this ear is a little bit wonky. Don't mind that. I'm gonna take a strip,
It was a Sam call.
okay? I'm gonna gather the strip so it's kind of like a little,
I'm,
a cord of it, I guess. Okay, I'm starting it with the wool down. So this is the other ear in case you guys need to see it again, okay? I'm gonna lay this wonky ear on here, okay? And I'm gonna take some of the wool and fold it diagonally over that edge of the ear, going one way. And the same thing, I'm gonna fold it over going the other way, okay? So it's okay if it's not perfectly covered at this point because I'm gonna keep wrapping it around, right? I just wanna start kind of joining the felt pieces, the layers together, okay? Do a few. And then you want to pull it out. Don't keep going forever, or else you're really gonna stick your ear on there. Okay. I'm pulling it off, flipping it over again. Right. So after I'm done, this is kind of attached now. Flipping it over again. And then I'm gonna take the extra, again, layering it. And then layering it again. Okay. And there might be an area that you might need to move it around. So maybe I'm gonna pull it over so it really gets on that ear tip. Okay, or maybe you're realizing you need a little bit more wool, and that's fine. You can get some more wool, make another layer of it. Okay, but either way, don't go too much into one side. Always just kind of stop, flip it over, and keep going the other direction. Okay, or else you're gonna stick your ear onto your styrofoam piece. We have the paparazzi coming.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sure, that's.
There's one ear. Well, you have enough pictures of me already.
Come on.
Now with the extra, we just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Trim that off.
I would just keep going with it,
Okay.
just a little bit. If you had a whole bunch, sure, but
If you haven't.
Yeah.
and the more you felt it, the flatter it's gonna get, right? Because you're tucking it in, so
Right.
my time was no longer an acceptable cycle. It's something. Okay. This first year I never finished, so I'm gonna finish this one. That's what we were saying in the beginning.
Yeah.
Good stress management.
Yes. Yeah. Anger management. Think this has been what, TV?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some ladies are saying they might want to do another paper paint class.
I'm just using this one, I'm not using that one, but this one is such a small thing, that you don't have to go that deep.
So if you guys, you're probably still working on the ear, okay? When you're done, first of all, you kind of want to decide like which way looks the less terrible. Mine looks all like lopsided. So I'm going to decide which way the ears are going to be pointing, and then you can decide where you want to put your pink, okay? Or whatever the middle color is going to be of your ears, okay? For in the middle part, you really are just going to need like just a pinch of wool, so you don't need very much. If you still didn't get any, tell them to get it, okay? But I'm going to wait until you guys are ready for that.
Where now?
By the way, you guys are all working on a piece of insulation foam, okay? I actually kind of prefer this instead of styrofoam just because it's less crunchy and it doesn't really fall apart as much. So
Read out
I don't know. I hope not. We insulated our garage and got left with a chunk of it.
And you said, I know what I'll use that.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, this would be perfect. And it was already in long strips too. This would be perfect for the needle felting class. If you want to take your block home too, I don't care because I have a lot of homes. So.
Well, this guy's going to have big ears.
Okay. I'm gonna make it a brighter pink.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw her the other day in her fish sandal. I was like, oh my God, what are you wearing?
This part of
Okay, how are we doing? Still do the ears, right? I don't want to rush people, but I also don't want to fall behind. You good?
You can go ahead.
Okay, so for the pink part of the ear, I just grab like a finger pinch of wool, okay? Really don't need very much for all the details. So very small amount. And I kind of like to like spread it out a little and kind of roll it in my palm or roll it together. Okay, and you really don't want to, you don't need to shape it yet. You don't need to shape it into like a triangle. Okay, great. So it's kind of like a little mush of fluff. And I'm going to put it just on here. Again, it doesn't have to be the right shape yet. Okay. And then this is where you want to get a single needle. So if you guys have this one, you can open up yours and these all unscrew on the back, even the plastic ones. And you can take out a single needle or 2 needles if you want to use 2. And then you can just laying it flat on here. You can take your little fluff, and this is where you want to start felting it, not quite going all the way and super deep, right? You can still go deep, but not all the way, because then you're going to start pushing the felt all the way through the backside too much. And especially a thin piece like this, you might start getting too much showing through the back. You're going to get a little anyway, so that's not a big deal, but just don't go crazy. Okay. Add a little bit of felt if you need to fill it in more. I think I need a little bit more pink in here, so just add a little bit more. Really small amount. You really won't need very much for this part. Okay, and then once you really get it on there, okay, then this is the part where you really just tap it super lightly. You're just trying to felt just the surface. Once it's like attached, then I'm just going to go and just very gently felt it down barely going in, maybe going in like, I don't know, a couple millimeters. 'Cause again, I don't want to push that felt all the way through the back side, so it shows through the ear in the back. Very, very lightly. All right. I'm gonna come around and just see how you guys are doing. Yeah. Okay, that's looking good. Yeah. What it is. Yeah, so what you can do is it's all like all this stuff coming on. Here's another thing you can do. Yeah.
If it's too much, if it's really too big, you just pull it off.
And the way it smooths the junction.
Yeah, especially when you get it
So you kind of want to
belt
get
it
the
down
belt,
some.
flatten it out like this. And then going like a low angle. And so it presses it down into this. And that'll help with it. You can help with anything, okay?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, maybe they need to run the reason to
You didn't put the styrofoam ball in here, right? You did? Oh, okay. Oh, you know what? Then it could be that you pressed it down quite a lot. Yeah, why don't I give you the bigger one to use then? We could, and if you want to smooth it out, we can also just add another layer of felt on there if we need to. Yeah. Yeah, so we can add, and, oh, I think the wrong one, sorry. No, it's all crooked.
Yes. Yeah. I said I like YouTube, and I just started making it, I'm making animals this big.
I mean, eventually you can still bring it down because, like, you're right, it is gonna be moving down a little bit more. If you do like an area like this ridge line right here, you can just get a little bit.
Now they show you how to do it on there.
Really? I mean, we have plenty of time. You can kind of go out the bottom. Because it's pressed so hard, it's gonna condense it, it's kind of pressed it, okay? And then this is actually really looking good
Yeah.
too. One thing I was telling her, the other day was that you can try to take it forward across there, smooth it out, and then as you kind of going in a low angle, and that'll help to smooth it out too.
Yeah. It's like things, you get smaller and bigger. And you just push it in and. Like that? Yeah. So what all have you made?
Me? What have I made?
Yeah, what all have you done?
I've done dogs, like my dog.
Oh, wow.
So, you know, just kind of a smaller, usually just do dogs, and I've done the dogs for friends. But, you know, I don't have that one, actually, it's still in storage, but, you know, the other ones I just gave to my friends, so I don't really have any of those. But more like, I try to do them a little bit more cartoon style, not necessarily like a real replica of the dog, just kind of like a fun
Right,
version of it.
right.
But yeah, my favorite subject to do, whether I'm drawing him or painting him or sculpting him, is my dog.
Mhm.
He's a spoiled brat.
Oh, yeah.
He's a bad boy. He peed in my office room, so it was very bad for me this week.
Work on that training.
Yeah. He got kicked out into the backyard. He's more like a cat, though, that's why. I don't like to go outside. Okay. So if your pieces or your head is looking a little bit fuzzy, like there's fuzz all over, it's okay. I'm going to show you guys a way to smooth it out. Okay, so don't worry about it. All right. So to attach the piece, any piece together, usually you want to use an extra little piece of roving or a little piece of felt. Or if you have enough like fluff on the edge of this ear, you can. So I'm going to take a little piece of this felt, kind of just attach it to the back, the bottom part, wherever the ear is going to go. And then I'm going to look at the ball and try to find the nicest surface so the face can go there. So I'm going to be like, okay, maybe this side looks pretty even. I'm going to put this ear on this part so I know where my face is going to go. It's going to go somewhere in there. Okay. And then as I'm holding the ear onto the ball like this, you want to start to just use this little piece of felt in here as like a glue, right? So you want to just take your needle, and I would just do 2 needles or 1 needle at a time, and just kind of carefully, and I'm laying it a little bit at an angle on here. So it's just kind of resting on there. And we're just pressing some of this felt and using that to kind of glue everything together. So I'm trying to attach the ear using this little, like, almost like a little extra scarf or wisp of felt.
So you're not actually doing the ear down in there, it's just the extra felt.
I am putting the ear. So okay, so first it's the ball layer, right?
Okay,
Then it's the ear that's kind of resting on the surface like that, like kind
Okay.
of just resting. And then the fluff of felt is on top, and so I'm driving that in both.
okay,
Okay, so it's like it's going through the ear and into that corner, the very edge of the ear, right? Not the middle, because then you won't see the whole thing, it'll be flat. So just the very edge of this ear, just kind of driving that felt through there.
okay.
Okay, almost like you're stitching that ear onto that side. I'll show it on the screen here. So this is the angle, the ear, and I started to just press this felt in there. If you have any of your ear color, like I have a little bit of pink wisps out here sticking out, I can always trim those off later. Not a big deal. Okay. And just a really small amount of this felt. You really don't need very much to like get this on there.
My cat has, I think she's part bobcat, and she has all this white. She's I'm going with white. She's
Uh-huh.
gray, and she has white coming just curled out of her ear,
Oh, that's cool.
and she has a bobtail. I think she's part bobcat.
But they have that, they kind of down.
I don't know. Maybe.
They don't look at
Does
me.
anybody need help with that part? Are you okay with your ears in general? Because I know you were doing them. Still doing?
I'm
Still
still-
okay?
Still work. Mine don't.
Okay, that's fine. Just take your time.
Mine don't either.
Okay.
Then I'm all right. Nobody's perfect.
Just think, you guys, anything that you do that's not even, or, you know, it gives it character, so.
Oh, it's gonna have
Wait a
a lot of
minute.
That was totally intentional, it just gives it character.
Okay, now.
All right, I got one ear on there. This roving or the extra piece you add can also be used to kind of like adjust your ears. So if like, for example, this ear I have is a little bit wonkier, it's smaller than the other one. So what I can do is add a little part on the bottom to help lift it up just to make it even, but it's up to you if you want to like fix it. If not, it's fine. And again, this is like for a lot of people, your first time you're doing this, so be gentle with yourself. Be nice. World War Springs. Yeah, actually, you can. Oh, I see. You have that one. That's fine. That's a little trickier to get out. And I kind of like to work it like two at a time, just because it's a little faster. Yeah, you don't want to try to do this part with a big group of needles, right? It's a big one. Just get one or two needles in this section.
Yeah, there, my cat got away.
They're always doing that, huh?
Thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah, that's the one here. So you guys the dates for those. Okay, so we have the owl felting on the 16th. Oh, that's the other class, a paint pouring class. So we did one class before paint pouring, but we're gonna have another one on the 17th. So it's that Monday, Tuesday, 16th and 17th. The watercolor leaves one is on the 23rd, and then that pumpkin spice latte cat is on the 30th, right before Halloween.
Gosh, I'm gonna be busy.
And those are all free.
Coming to all those classes, yep.
Are they felting, the pumpkin spice latte cat? What is that made of? What's
Oh, that's the
medium?
one that was like mixed media. So it's gonna be like a picture of a cat. I'll show it to you guys. What is that picture? And when I saw it, I was like, I have to do a project with this. It was so fun.
What do I need to do?
Huh? Nice to jump in here. I've seen some big ears.
I'm sure they'll post it, you know. As soon as they post it, but here. How are we doing with our ears?
Oh, very good.
Oh, okay. So what we need to do here is just get it on here a little bit more. See how it's kind of falling off? We'll just kind of fold it down a little bit more. Okay, we don't even need that. Get this one. So we're folding it down, okay? kind of not for
That one song about your ears are too low.
And then
something like
just
that.
really
Remember
kind of get
that?
this on. And actually, because this year is taller and this
You
is
big
smaller,
one.
it's actually we're pressing it in more because then it's shorter.
Gosh, that's what this reminded me of.
Yeah, I didn't make it, now it's for me anymore.
Okay. Okay. So this is the autumn leaf painting,
Oh, I love that.
and then I have a couple examples,
Oh,
but we're gonna be cutting out the shapes and then we can decorate it with paint and color it and stuff, but you can make it your own like, personality, so it doesn't have to have the glasses or, you know, you can do a mug instead of a latte, but, you can kind of make it your own version. Right?
And then you're doing the owl.
And then the owl, yeah, and the owl, it can be like a silly owl, like the one I made. Does anybody else wanna see them?
Yes.
Oh, that's looking good. Yeah, that's great. This is the pumpkin spice latte cat, using multimedia, different colors of paper, some painting, some, you know, drawing, but mostly you can make it your own version of this.
Really does.
Like if you wanna make it a different kind of cat,
This
or
one I
different
had to kind of
accessories.
like.
You can.
Yours are much
It's
more close to
kinda
the size of cat's ears.
Silly on this
The
side.
pumpkin
Right.
latte cat. It's-
I'm
And then the,
Maybe
also the watercolor leaf.
going with it.
Yeah, I saw that in the other room, that was good.
Yeah, so watercolor leaves, and we can make different kinds of leaves and
Oh, I
acorns,
do.
pumpkins.
And important what you do with these. Yeah.
Well, they're just gonna be like card type, so you can display them as a card of an artwork, or you can use it as like a card to give away. Okay. So I'm going, mostly the attachment is gonna be on the back of the ear, right? But I'm also going into the connecting part on the front, just a little bit, just to get a few of those fibers kind of tucked in there, to help it stick a little better.
Yeah, it seems to make it look better too.
Yeah.
Because then you can kind of
You can also,
shape it.
yeah, you can pull the ears back a little bit too, so they're not so flat on the head. You can kind of like adjust them. Okay. Okay, and then let me get this ready.
Throw them away. Oh, one's long, one's bigger.
Oh, I put my ears closer.
Oh, I bet they're supposed to be.
But no, this is pretty.
So I'm gonna come around with the nose and the eyes, okay? If you want to needle felt them, you can, but this just makes it easier.
Probably have to have some more.
That's your nose.
Oh.
There's the back of it. Roll over it.
And these little things, accessories can be purchased with like a kit online. So. This is the eye, the nose and the eyes. And they do sell bigger eyes and, you know, noses and things, but the only size I really have, so. You could also use the nose piece as two eyes, but they do have that little, they'll give it like a droopy eye shape. So that's an option if you want to do that instead.
Have you burning the government or what?
I'll show you how to do it, don't worry.
Oh, yeah, one looks like a screw.
The screw one is the nose.
The nose, all right.
Yeah. But you know, you could kind of see it if you did two of those nose pieces, you could kind of make it look like big
Oh, you're
eyes.
getting there, I'm always talking about a cat.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I have a nose. My nose is pink.
Oh, okay, yeah, if you want to make it a certain color, go for it.
And that's it, right, here's the nose back.
But it really is something to hang on for.
Okay, so for attaching this, nose, I would definitely do the nose first, okay? So you get it in the right spot, and then. Okay, so usually what you want to get is this, all, okay, think of the name. And it looks like a nail. You could literally just get a nail from your house and, use that. I'll just pass this around so you can put these in, but you want to just start by making it like a hole where it's gonna go. So I'm gonna look at my little base here for reference. I kind of like to put it right in the middle between the ears, not too low, so it kind of looks like the cat is looking up. And then you want to just shove it in there. And for this big nose, you kind of want to give it a little wiggle. You want to be able to separate the fibers that are on the surface a little. So I'm giving it a little bit of a wiggle, and then I'm going to shove the nose in there. I can get one. Okay. It does have like a screw look to it, but honestly, I don't really use it like that. So that's the nose. Same thing with the eyes. A little bit of a wiggle. You really don't need too much for the eyes. You just need to poke it a little. You could try just shoving the eyes in there directly, but these are probably just going to get stuck on the wall on the outside more than anything. That's one. Okay, I'll pass this around.
If you want to make the eyes blue, like, sun.
Oh yeah, let me show you guys how to do an eye without these little dots. So, actually, yeah, let's make this blue eye, for example. So, make an eye whatever color. I'm going to take out these eyes just so you can see it. You want to get just a pinch of the felt. Really don't need very much. And you just want to roll it up into a very, very tight little ball. I'm going to try to get it.
Yeah.
You can even do it like a little bit of black in there too, like you really want to get, into it. But I'm just going to try to make it into a ball, place it on there. And then when you do this, just keep in mind that use a single needle. Keep in mind that you want to keep tucking it in around the edges to keep the round shape to it. So as I'm doing this, I'm trying to pull the extra fluff that's on the outside and just tucking it in. Well, I think I made it a little too big, but I can kind of stuff it into the hole that I made since I was putting the peg in there.
Sorry.
And I would just recommend making it really getting it in there. You really don't want the eye to be like popping off, right? And if you just
Probably
keep,
not if you can help it.
you just keep tucking it in along the edges to kind of like keep it contained so it looks round. Okay. So that just takes some kind of finagling with it. You could also you can take the peg home and just paint it, if you wanted do it the fast way. So this would be like the eye, just a little blue circle. Okay. Same thing with the nose. If you wanted to make it like a pink nose or something, you could do that. I mean, you're just trying to shape it on the surface of it.
Make sure the nose is secured, you felt that in if you can.
Did you put the black one in the screw?
I mean, so that it won't, it's not coming out, but.
No, it should just be able to stick in there unless you accidentally make the hole like huge and then it might fall out.
Okay.
Some people even put like a little bit of glue before they shove it in there, just to glue that thing in there, the eye or whatever you're putting. But so you could do that if you wanted to do that at home or something, glue it in, put the Elmer's glue in, didn't bring anything like that.
Could you have turquoise, like a turquoise blue?
Yeah, I have other colors here. If you want to do the eyes, nose, different colors, I have other colors in it. You can take a look.
And then you just.
There should be one that's in there like a teal, kind of like a darker teal. Or you could even mix it. Like, there's this one. You can even blend them together.
Yeah.
I do have this color in here.
But you
No, 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 matching for sure.
Yeah.
So the best way to buy this would be to buy appearance.
Yeah, if you're just starting off, get a kit, because then it comes with all this stuff, the eyes, the nose, all kinds of stuff you can get with it. And then later, you know, you can go to just craft stores and get the wool individually. I think the wool is cheaper at craft stores than online, but the kits are not available in stores really.
I like to get the,
Just don't keep me finding in
Bath.
stores.
that come in it, it's a lot quicker and easier to felt. And then use like these for like long hair
That on there.
on something.
What do you mean the bats?
It's, almost like your core wool. It's
Mhm.
already been, it's almost like pre-felted, like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's, one of the companies I get stuff from is called, they call it carded bath.
Oh, okay, yes,
Yeah.
yes, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm supposed to have that. But we can't figure out yours on there, but how good that is.
Oh, yeah. Hold yours up so you can see it.
Those are
Pretty.
good.
Those are good.
Look at my little,
No, those look good.
those are good.
To get the whole.
I thought you were for my daughter. She has one that she adopted, or it adopted her.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
It's all different colors.
There you go, yeah. Oh, yeah, yours are good.
How are we doing with our noses and eyes?
They look good.
I ain't got
The eyes
no
look good, but the nose is, my nose is okay.
Are we
but
supposed
my
to have a
eyes are
special
big.
tool for the nose?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
it's
little
coming
all is
around.
coming around for that, so if you
like
haven't done that yet,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's coming around.
We just forgot we were doing
Just, yeah, if you want to put it together, you can put it. Let me go put you a little blue one.
All right, that's gonna be good.
Losing an eye.
Don't lose an eye. You can maybe have like, furry or ears, you know?
I wouldn't even do that because she's got hair good in that ear.
Could take you a little bit of white and put underneath it, and then put the little black eye on top of
How are we
it.
doing, guys? Ready for the mouth?
Not yet.
No? Advance.
Thank you.
I'm adding a little bit of pink to my ears since I needed some. Yeah, the owl I did, like with the eye black in the middle and a little highlight of white. So this is all just the needle felting. So if you want make your cat eyes, it's kind of hard to do that on a small scale with a little eye like this. But, you could add color and eyes, more normal looking, and realistic looking with just the felt.
A single. That's the move. Oh, you're making a pink face, a white face?
Calico.
Yeah, that's your muzzle.
Turn out to be a good
That's the last time we're gonna-
It's okay. I've been wanting to do one, man, see.
Oh, this is. I just need some whiskey.
Oh.
Come on,
Oh,
no.
the restriction was nice.
Well, every time you one, I just kept poking down in there. And that one went down a little bit farther.
So
And
you
it's
land it
hard
hard.
to- That's cool. Hard to
Yeah,
do.
the hard ears are hard to do.
I'm sorry.
I thought you needed next one to go. We gotta get your nose right. We got your ears wrong.
Ball over there.
So, I mean, on my cat, I add a little bit of pink for the cheeks, even though cats don't really have cheeks, especially not blushing cheeks, but I don't know, that's just a little detail. Feel free to add, it's totally optional.
Oh, now we learned it's like a mouse, but don't follow mine. Furry. Mine kind of looks like a mouse. Sure.
Let's see here.
Should we glue the black?
Which one?
The little eyes. She could back inside of the blue.
Oh, I see.
But
It's because you felted it tightly, because the blue, you felted it tightly, so I would just put a little bit of black felt in there, actually, tiny bit, instead. Yeah.
Let me give you.
Here, let me see if I can do it too, so I can see.
That's too many.
Yeah, and you really just need a very, very small amount, so like maybe just like a little wisp of it, like this. Oh, you can just drop it in.
around for like,
That looks good.
that way you kind of.
And again, just turn it into a little ball, tiny little ball to place on the blue. Let's see if I can do it on mine. Just to see it.
I'll wet it.
Yeah, I know, right? Oops, I shoved it in so far, it disappeared. A little too much. You are gonna lose some of it when you like start poking it in, but too much gets out of hand also.
Actually, looks more realistic. Oh, yeah, look at that.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. I don't know if I would leave it on mine, but. I'll take it out. Okay, the last thing that I have on mine is just the mouth, okay? And so you are gonna need whatever color you wanna make the mouth. I'm gonna make it with a little bit of brown, just because my cat is really white. So I don't want it to stand out so much. But for this line of the mouth, it's just a little whisk that you're gonna need. And for this one, you want to roll it in your hand like a little twist. So you get a nice like little, almost like imagine you pulled the Q-tip, you pulled the cotton off of a Q-tip, like that much, okay? And it's gonna look a little bit thicker at first, and so I like to get extra just so I have enough to work with. And with a single needle, I'm gonna start by really kind of burying it at the bottom of the nose, wherever it's gonna begin, and then pulling it so I can see the line of the mouth. And again, I just made like a little mouth like this, like a little inverted V. So I'm just placing it in at the nose, really getting it adhered at the bottom of the nose, and then just gently pulling it, and then going along from the nose, going down. Following that line, okay? And then any extra that's over here hanging out, I can either fold it back if it needs a little bit more, or I can just cut it off. Okay, and then same thing with this end, I'm gonna have it come down to make a little V. And feel free to come up and get whatever color you want for your mouth. And I have black up here too. You just want to make it like a black blue.
Black eye. I do gray. Black or white.
So I think of those all considered for felting.
Yeah,
Whatever I want.
so I just trimmed off a little extra wisp of felt. And then now I have a little line for the mouth. And if you want to make your mouth, you know, like maybe it's smiling or it has a little bit more of a curvature, you know, like a kind of like a W, you can. That's just the way I made the mouth. So it's up to you.
What's a cat's mouth look like? Lisa?
Well, I've seen it felted different ways, you know. They even try to make it with it looks 3D. And I just kind of make it like this.
Across.
Yeah, so that's how I make it. If you want to do something different, you can, or maybe I'll make it like a little different so you guys can see it the other way. Maybe I'll make it like a little smiley
It
face,
is. It's got
like this.
a bridge there.
But really, however you want to make it, or you can even not do a mouth. You can even just leave it. Yeah, there's more black up here if you need. Okay.
Looks like a rabbit.
So
It is a rabbit.
You can
we need rabbits.
Oh, I've seen so many on YouTube. They're doing little rabbits, sleeping rabbits. They're just so cute.
So to smooth it out, if you guys like it fuzzy, you can definitely leave it fuzzy, okay? But there is a trick to kind of getting a smooth surface. And I like to get 2 or 3 needles, just kind of evenly spaced here, kind of holding them at a very low angle. So almost like a, I don't know, 20 degrees or something. And as I'm going across the surface, just whatever area I feel like needs to be smoothed out, I can kind of like, almost like I'm combing the fur down a little bit, combing it down, and then just getting the needle and just gently, almost like you're dragging it along the surface a little to get some of that extra fuzziness down. I'm kind of just combing it and then dragging it at a low angle. And so that's going to get rid of a lot of the extra like fuzz. And you can even see on like this ball, like this little felted one, it's always going to have a little bit of fuzz, okay? But you know, the more you do the felting motion, the smoother it's going to get, okay? But that's kind of the trick to it. Again, if you like it fuzzy,
It's kitty.
that's fine. You can leave it as fuzzy. as you want. Okay.
Oh.
All right. So it could be there all day smoothing it out, which some people do. But whenever you feel like your cat is, smoothed out enough, complete. I've seen people, add the body. You can add a body on this if you wanted to really go crazy with it. You can turn it into a keychain. I actually have some of those pieces. If you want to turn it into a keychain, you can kind of like, but of course, keychains tend to mess up the thing you made. So, you just put it somewhere for decoration or give it away. What do you want to do? Yeah.
And puts a quilt mouth there. I'll try to do it with some black.
I remember that we got last one time, it's like, oh, that's a really good one.
Oh,
I don't know how much it is, I know that one of them is.
Oh yeah, I have these little ones too. You just need to snip something.
Well, this one's $55.
This is the lady that comes from North Carolina. That does the barn.
Oh, okay.
Somebody does it.
You okay?
Yeah, I was just looking to see
Oh.
amount.
This one's kind of looks like a little mustache on that one, but I just made it like a little inverted V or that's a little W. Or you can even just put like a regular cartoon mouth on it if you wanted to.
Mine's too wide. You said you do have scissors up there?
Yeah, I have these big ones and then little small ones just to kind of snip something off.
Easy done.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wonderful. Oh, that's a great idea. Oh, I'm so gonna do that. I don't know where I'm gonna find acorns, but I'm gonna do that.
Under an oak tree.
Yeah, I just don't know where.
We want to show it.
I don't even know what oak trees look like.
this oak tree out here that's right by the sidewalk.
Oh, really?
The acorns are disastrous.
Really?
There
Okay.
you go.
I'm so bad. I'm like, a lot of trees I can't recognize because in California we don't have like a lot of big trees. So I'm like, what does an oak tree look like? I don't know.
They would do something really funny to make.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Maybe I can even stuff these pre-made ones in there.
Oh, yeah, that's adorable.
And then you can put them on.
Oh,
The whole branch.
But you need to find the acorns. It's just like now.
I mean,
Those
they're really easy.
Yes, but those outside I've been looking at, they're terrible.
Too small or?
And then you hot glue it in. Oh. In your top. It's just a cute spot that. Where'd you get?
Yeah, it is cute.
From Wisconsin.
Oh, it's the caps. I see the caps.
Oh, very nice. You just how it grew it in there.
Oh, I like Hated mouth. Oh, that's cute. Look at the mouth on this one, you guys.
Let's see.
Oh.
One of the frowny ones.
Fine. I think you're just
I
being.
think I got this one.
Are they?
Yeah, but it's outside and then you hot glue them into the cap of a railing.
Oh,
Those fine.
Did you do that?
okay. They don't look that off. They don't look that
I
different.
went to a class in Wisconsin and then she taught me how to do it. Just something easy and
You
for
can just
active.
take, not that, and
Yep, make a little bottle and just stuff it. Shape it like an acorn. Really easy.
It's supposed to be a computer room,
Hot glue it in.
but I put a twin bed in it.
then you can put them out every hour.
But they're all older now, and so they're doing their own thing. So anyway, the bed is covered with needle felting stuff.
Oh.
My acrylic paint and brushes.
Oh, wow.
Good
What
to
kind of
you.
things do you do? I'm curious to see.
Oh, I have to show you. I got them on my phone. Got them on my phone. My brother keeps saying I need to bring some down and put them in the. Put them down in town and I'm like, oh, see stuff.
Oh,
That good. But I enjoy doing it, but it's stressful at the same time because I'm, ugh,
Yeah,
how do they do that?
that's how art can be all the time.
Oh. Here's my cat. That's why I want to put the hair.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, we could do. I don't know if you want to do it on this one, but you could try to make it a little fuzzy on, especially on the side of its face.
Oh, yes. And perfectly.
Not
good for
really,
felting.
but
Mine is,
sort of.
mine is,
Pretty
you
has
know
that.
what I mean?
Yeah.
She doesn't,
Oh, have her.
thank you, she doesn't have any.
Oh, she's long. Long hair.
Yeah, long hair.
Yeah, that's long hair.
Just so you all know, I got a big picture of my son, I mean, it's, you know, halfway, kids in bed or.
Oh, yeah. They're all finished now.
No, they are.
Yeah, go over there, they're great. Some of us made rabbits.
Yeah, some of them, they're like, you know what.
Oh, kind of a brownie cat.
Good job. Oh, how cute.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's good. It's very expressive. So I guess.
Good job. Oh, good.
Yeah, she barked really good.
Oh, I see.
Thank you. We'll get you back together. I'll get y'all want me to take your picture with it. Oh, shoot. No, I got it. Oh, good.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
Good night.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
good. It was apples.
The flowers.
Flowers, oh,
She had a flower.
Well, y'all-
Okay.
No, I
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, that's great. Hey, you can sell that downtown. It's called crumbles. Crumbums. I made something different. They make cats. I made.
Maybe.
It's better than most they had it.
Maybe it's fuzzy.
Anyway,
I think it's.
Oh.
Extra.
You can work on it. She probably told you the next one in October, you're making a hoot out.
Wait a minute, we have to have, for a cat, you've got to have
Oh,
whiskers.
I'm a
big kind of.
Right. Sorry.
Whiskers.
You don't want to pronounce those words.
Whiskers.
Paintbrush, you can get a paintbrush and use those for the whiskers.
I know. I
Some people
know.
use horsehair.
I have this little mess of.
That's what I need.
Yeah.
Let's try to.
oh my God.
salvage what you can.
Well,
And
like the
also
nose, I
you
really
get
pounded, and
just like
the
a brush
two
put
eyes
on
that
your
were too
house
big, and the
with
nose was
the
way
Yeah,
too big.
it's extra, you can
and pull
discuss it,
out
like,
some of those
it's fine.
bristles.
Throw it out,
Yeah.
or give it to you.
No, you can talk about it.
Okay.
And if ever you guys collect any extra that you're like scrap pieces, you can always just roll it into the roving pile and keep that as like an extra scrap pile, like, put it in the middle of something.
What?
Oh, like if you have extra fluff, you can always just kind of keep it all in a separate bag. Thank you.
But you needed that.
And you could always like just put that in the middle, you know, if you have a lot of like little tiny
Oh,
pieces.
gotcha.
I'm going to put some paint.
Yeah, so what I would do, if you're gonna add little pieces
What are you
of it,
working on?
I would try to get the very,
Maybe the first class?
the shape, yeah, the
Oh,
shape that you
first.
want. I'm sorry, I didn't know you were talking, for example,
I took it
you
last
want
time.
this, and then we get this. And you don't want it to be too, I don't know exactly the shape you're going for, but you don't want it to be
Oh,
too.
yeah, I'd like to.
Right,
I
right?
need to get like two of
Let's say
them.
you're adding
doing
some.
clay downtown.
Pull it up.
Oops.
And then you just kind of hold it, and then with your needle tool, you would attach right that to it.
Okay.
To see if that's close.
Okay.
So, you know, usually the classes go hour and a half, 2 hours, but, you know, if you guys are done with everything, like she's doing here, we can bring up
I don't
any
wanna
extra.
go.
Any extra
I wanna do
tools, anything extra you can bring up. Oh, okay.
Started there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Do you look at this on YouTube and all?
How to put them on.
Oh,
Well, I
you need to. It is amazing what people do. I mean, it's just.
Our eyes aren't even.
I had, I was really stained glass, and then I saw, oh, this is right after.
Here we are.
I like doing anything, you know.
I don't want to do smart stuff.
Okay, I'll take this with me.
Yeah,
I
I want to do that.
I have a 6
Had
poker
to
and
find
one
it.
poker.
Do it.
I ordered a whole case of one time, just before.
Yeah, that's the one we'll do next.
Well, it's not a kid can make anything.
No, I ain't gonna leave it out.
Whole
It was
bunch.
fun.
Colors and yarn. Yeah, it seemed like a better deal though, because
Yeah.
you got enough yarn and you also.
Do you want me to
got
trim
the
the
tools.
mouth a little bit?
I would.
So,
You wanna
Yeah,
trim it some?
yeah.
Oh, let's see what you got here.
But it didn't have
That's
any
cute.
nuance with it, so I
your
went.
ears are perfect.
But
They're
I
all
don't have
tucked in the front. I love it.
But that's just like what we did.
Yeah, exactly. So you would just start by covering
How is
with
the
the
dog
red. And yeah, it looks like you have enough wool to do 3 of them. So you would just cover it up just like how we did the cat. And then. what do you have?
Hey, you know
Same
what?
thing, the way we did the mouth, or the way we did like the strip. You just roll it in there.
It's got
So-
tail
And then
sticking
you
out
would
its
just
mouth.
wrap it around.
I'm
And
gonna
you
trim
basically
that
do the
off,
same
but
process
I
that we
thought
did.
about that. I thought, "Shit, just do it."
Yeah, which is kind of, it's gonna take a really long time, so definitely you wanna get the one that's.
Oh,
like
it is.
this one. If you prefer that one, it is a little bit smaller, they also sell a little bit.
I haven't packed it on.
So, whichever one, I kinda like this, because I like the security thing on it, but either one works, just. will work. So, these I think is just a little.
And that was it.
Yeah.
Public lobby.
Yeah.
But
I
just
like it.
ate a bird.
No, when I cook. I'll have to look at what the schedule is for the year.
Got a little mustache, a little beard.
Oh,
There's been a lot of fun.
I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
Okay.
Like, hopefully you've learned some
okay.
more and built up on what you already
I think I
knew.
can hear the car situations demonstrated.
Oh, my little.
Yeah, I learned. Stop.
Yeah, it does take a while to get it. Even this is like not, even though I've been picking at it since I started it, it's still gonna take a long time to get the center as hard as it can be. Which is why it's like, maybe you could just get a styrofoam ball, or you could just get another pre-made one.
That looks like a can.
But if you really want to, you know, eventually that's good like that.
I enjoyed your class and, bugging out,
I had a feeling of that.
I'll see you at the.
I had a feeling of that.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Her ears are perfect. Oh, they really are.
All y'all's cats can beat up my cat.
Thanks to Angel. Can you look at their face?
Thank you, Sonia, that was good.
All right.
Don't feel a good week next week.
Yes, and I'll see you guys, hopefully at some other class. Yes. The dates are sure will come out, you guys. can
Yeah.
see.
It comes in the paper on the next Thursday.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, how do I keep up with what's going on up here?
You can look at, their website.
Okay.
Yeah, and they post them on the wall right here, all the different things.
Okay,
Bye.
good to see you. Or you can come up, the next time you come up, and pick up a paper. They have extra copies on that table for the computer.
Okay, they don't have them today?
No, not until next
Do they
Thursday.
send those papers
Oh,
to
gotcha.
everybody, or how do they get the papers?
If you have a subscription,
Okay,
but, you can always pick them up off here or in the Center Street
Okay,
They email
building.
to you.
okay.
Oh, they email them to you?
Yep, you want them to.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good, right?
Okay, there's that.
alright, so I have a lot, space up here if you guys wanna put your stuff over. Oh, so you know what, I should probably end the class, cause it's still
And
recording.
say goodbye.
Goodbye, online people.